What up, what up, what up? Fade Nice Good back with another one. This is a drop fade slash ball fade. Difference between a drop and a ball fade is the same steps as far as the fade goes, but the drop fade just drops in the back. So this first guideline, as you can see, I'm dropping the fade down in the back. That's what makes it a drop fade, but the steps would be the same as a ball fade. The ball fade, you would just go straight around with that guideline. But this isn't so much a tutorial video as it is me just recording what I do. Normally, when I record my cuts, I got tutorial in mind, and I want to show all the steps and all that. But this time, I just wanted to record myself, cutting, showing how I get down on the clippers. But started off with a ball guideline. Like I said, dropped it down in the back to make it a ball fade. He has, as you can see, dreads up top. So you just want to be very mindful of how high you bring the fade up. But I'm not going to do too much talking, just kind of wanted to show my skills, man. And always remember, what you do to one side, you're gonna do to the other. Some of the angles, my hand was in the way, so I wouldn't show that side, like the right side. Sometimes if my hand was in the way, I just cut that scene out. But just know what you do to one side, you do to the other. I got my Andis Fade Masters right here. They closed. This is the second video where I'm showing this technique. I'm not doing the open half closed. I'm doing closed open half. Can still achieve a crispy fade. I just wanted to show a different technique. I want to bring different techniques to the channel, and let y'all decide which one works best for you. Still closed on the beard. Now I got them open on the beard, and now I got them halfway on the beard. Just faded that out real quick. So now they are open. Remember, I had them closed, went all the way around. Now I got them open, I'm going all the way around. And now I'm going half. And when you're removing this line, use your discretion. You want to start off half, but sometimes you may have to go a little lower, a little higher. Play with that lever, man, to remove that line. But I got it halfway-ish right here. As you can see, that line just slowly starts to disappear, when you attack it. I'm playing with the lever. Open it slightly, close it slightly. Do what you gotta do to remove that line. Just take your time. Still playing with the lever, but it's still in that half range area. See, that line is gone. It's blended out for the most part. Do a little cleanup work on it, but going to the one Andis guard right here. And I got it closed, starting off with it closed. This is another technique, another fading technique. Do which one works best for you. And I'm going up about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm only going to use one more guard to take the rest of that bulk out, to fade the rest of this hair out. But I was very mindful of how high I could go up because, you know, the dreads is as high as you can go. So you don't want to mess the fade up and go up too high. And now I got my 1/16 guard on the wall magic clips, and I'm doing some cleanup work. So I'm gonna start with them open, you know, close the guard some halfway. You know, I'm just using my discretion, removing any dark spots I see, blending it out as good as possible. And every time I cut, I comb. If you look, I'm cutting and I'm combing. You gotta make that a habit. Now I got a 3/16 closed, and I'm gonna go with the grain. This is gonna be the last guard I use. As far as the fade is concerned, I'm going with the grain to knock the bulk down, and then I flip it over and I fade it out. And that gives you a good transition every time. I'm doing this part in sections, but you're gonna do this all the way around the head. Next section, going with the grain, knocking the bulk down, and fading it out. It's real simple. This is a real simple fade once you get used to it, and once you remember the steps and the guards that go in order. The more you do it, the easier it's going to become. This is a little quicker than open half close because you're skipping a few steps, so it's a little quicker. But open half close is easier to remember. When you add into every guard, you start in the same exact way, doing the same exact steps. So tapering that line down right here. Got the one guard on there closed. I'm just prepping that line. Right here, I'm spraying it with some water and then brushing the fade down. Make sure it's good and crispy. I ain't missing no dark spots or nothing like that. So I just brush that fade down so I can see how it's looking. Check my work. Right here, hit it with some holding spray. Let that holding spray dry up, and then attack that line up. Start from the middle and I work my way out. I'm using my slim lines to line up. The lineup is like your bread and butter. You can have an okay fade and you give them a super crispy lineup, they can still be satisfied. You can have a really good fade with a whack lineup, and that's going to be the first thing they notice is that lineup. So you always want to make sure your lineups are always on point. It makes or breaks the haircut. And you don't want to push them back. You want to keep it as natural looking as possible, following a natural pattern of how their hair grow. Right here, I'm fading out that beard some more, doing some more cleanup work. I got my 1/16 guard back on. I'm fading that beard out. Cut one, comb one. 3/16 guard, boom. Finish fading it out. I had fun doing this cut. Now I'm gonna razor it. Stretch the skin when you razor it. Always pull the skin down. Lay that razor on the skin and clean it up. I wanted to show this whole cut, show the whole process of me cutting, you know, just doing what I do. Like I said, it wasn't so much a tutorial, but I still wanted to explain what I was doing. If you still watching, you know, if you watch to the end of this video, you'll see how crispy this cut came out. Right here, I'm gonna do the mustache. Gotta be very careful when you're doing the mustache. You better make sure you got a steady hand, because you do not want to cut someone's mustache off or cut too much hair off. Just tap the mustache right over the lip, you know, clean it up. Hit it with the fibers, you know, then go back over it with my liners. If you notice, I make sure that lineup is crispy before I add any fibers. You gotta make sure that lineup is already crispy, because for one, everybody doesn't like fibers, everybody doesn't get fibers, so you're gonna have to know how to line up crispy without it. And for two, you can't just spray fibers on a line and expect that to make it crispy. It has to be a crispy line before you put the fibers on. They just enhance the cut. That's all they are. They're enhancements. They're not made to, you know, be the actual lineup. Now I'm hitting it with the razor one more time just to make sure it's extra sharp, extra clean. Always want to make sure your work is as good as it can be, man, every time. So this was the before cut. You know, he came in really needing to cut bad. And this was the after. Big difference, you know. Fade looked good all the way around. Crispy line. Look at that fade, is real blurry, you know. Beard came out crispy. But if you liked it, learned anything, please share it, hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I got more content coming for all of y'all. Peace.